Hey guys, so for this week I thought let's do another philosophy video. I wanted to talk about the idea or concept of fate or destiny. If we're going to look at the definition of fate according to Google, it is the development of events outside a person's control, regarded as predetermined by a supernatural power. So basically, some things are predetermined and it's outside our control. I wanted to talk about what this implies and if there are maybe like multiple different ways to look at it. So when I was younger, I used to kind of believe in fate. I personally never believed in a god or anything, but I always believed that there might be some kind of supernatural thing going on, some kind of force or something that made some things meant to be. But I also never believed that free will didn't exist, but more of like, some things were meant to be, like big things, and outside of that, we had full control over everything else, basically. But then, at some point I realized one problem with that. And I feel like, on the one hand, believing that fate or destiny exists is something that gives us a feeling of comfort, because in a sense it's kind of this idea of it doesn't really matter what you do because things are gonna turn out fine anyway, because there's something that's destined to happen. Right, it gives you like a sense of comfort where you kind of feel like there is something, some kind of force outside of yourself that's going to make things go a certain way and you don't have control over it. So in a sense, it kind of takes away from your responsibility, from your control, and makes you feel like there's something helping you, getting you somewhere in life, some kind of force or some kind of higher being or something, and I feel like it made me kind of feeling as if the responsibility of things going well is not fully yours because there's something helping you. And I noticed that the stronger I believed in those kind of things, like destiny and stuff like that, the more things actually didn't go well. Because I feel like it made me more passive, in a way. When things go wrong and you believe in fate, you might think to yourself, maybe tomorrow fate will fix it, or God will fix it, or something will fix it all of a sudden, magically. If you believe in some kind of magical, supernatural force, you might think like, oh, tomorrow things will be solved by itself, or something, a miracle is going to happen. Because it's this thing where, like, if you're gonna say that things are actually predetermined, does that mean that you don't have to do anything? That you don't have to do anything, it will just turn out that way, no matter what you do? Because that makes people, I think, instead of trying to create their own destiny, they're just waiting around for destiny to find them, basically. And it might happen. If you're lucky, maybe some good things will happen by themselves. But it might be that if that's what you rely on, then you might actually be really settling for less. Feeling like you're not in control might also make you feel like you can't do a lot of things, when in reality you can. Because you think that destiny is the thing that controls things rather than you. So, just to be clear, I'm not trying to say like, oh, you shouldn't believe in fate, it's a bad thing, or you shouldn't believe in anything supernatural, like, no. Whatever helps you as a person, that's what you should believe. I always have this opinion that you can believe whatever you want as long as you don't try to force it on other people. Because on the other hand, I do believe that people sometimes, we have way less control than we actually think. In a sense where, of course, a lot of things in our life kind of are determined by other people and by nature and stuff like that. As one person, you can't do that much. You can't survive or live in the way that you live without all these other people. And we also don't control nature. And even in our own brain, there's a lot of limits where we have our natural talents and we have things that we're not good at, and we have a lot of constraints in what we are capable of and what we're not. So part of life we cannot control. Maybe it's true that if there is a path for us in life, that path is in a way beyond our control. But I also feel like we need to actively move towards it. And maybe you could call it fate, but then in that case we have to find it. We have to find fate. We have to move towards it, work towards it, find it ourselves in a way. Because it's not gonna find you. Because if a person just sits around and does nothing, fate is not going to find them. So I feel like fate is more like a path in life, or an opportunity, or like several opportunities in your life, things that are within your reach, partly because of things outside your control, because of other people, because of how the world is right now, because of things that happened in the past and how nature has evolved and whatever. All these things outside of our control kind of made this path, this opportunity possible for us. And there are probably those kind of opportunities for everyone in their life. Those kind of opportunities that might feel like they are destined for us. But I feel like there's also this thing where this opportunity might be there, but you still have to choose to take it. You still have a lot of control over your own life and over what you do. And even if you don't influence the state of the world that much, or nature, you still influence your own life a lot. And you have to choose to move towards these opportunities in life actively. But yeah, I don't know. I personally believe that we do have free will. And in a sense, I also feel like if we didn't, then that kind of means that life is not really worth living, because that kind of just means you're a slave, right? If you don't have free will. But anyhow, I feel like because we do have free will, that also means that you have a lot of options. You can choose to do nothing. You can also choose to do something. And you have so many options of what you are going to do in life. And that's also why I feel like maybe fate, is just like a path in life that's in a sense meant for you. And you could maybe get there if you kind of figured out what it was, and if you put the effort into working towards that. And that also means that fate or destiny is not actually set in stone. It's not actually predetermined, because it means that it's possible that you miss your path. It's possible that you never get there because you never did anything to get there, because you believed that you didn't have any control. And that doesn't mean that things can't be beautiful or magical, because Sometimes things just feel that way, even when they can be explained, you know? Even when they can be explained, they can still be beautiful things. So, you know, not everything is within our control, but a lot of things are. And the things that are, we should try to control, because that's going to help us. That's going to help us get further in life. Okay, so that's all I wanted to say. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.